Right. Okay. You got
yet.
that. Okay, we're going to take that off.
Okay.
And let me see what else. You said penetrate. Penetrate partner. Is that what we're doing?
I don't think so.
We're not penetrating the partner? Tell me, honey.
With what?
Go ahead, talk to me.
I'm not sure.
Good.
What are we going to penetrate the partner with? What partner?
The partner, okay, right here.
Yeah.
Here's me. Here's me, and you're my partner this moment, and I'm your partner. How are you penetrating me?
With my eyes. Can't resist my eyes.
Penetrating you with your eyes. And I think, I'm on the cord. Eyes. Windows.
To the soul.
Bridget.
Paula.
Okay. Now let's see it. Paula.
Paula.
What's my name?
Bridget.
All right. Now ask me. What are we doing here?
What are we doing here, Bridget?
And I'm how old?
You're 19.
And I have a Capricorn rising personality. Wow. I'm so ambitious.
You're so witty.
I like that. Okay. I am.
You're a little stubborn.
Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome.
All right. And what else?
You're good at saving money. You're very good at, setting an allowance for yourself and trying to manage time management. You're good at that.
Okay, so that was one of those words I took off.
Time.
Okay. And I love that, honey. You're saying that managing money. So you feel good about that. So when you do things you feel good about, you're more connected to that soul of you. When you're doing things, I'm not talking about feeling good like, give me a pleasure. See, I'm so Capricorn minded right now because I'm Bridget.
Yeah.
I can't think of a pleasure. Give me a pleasure.
What do you mean?
Any pleasure.
I don't know.
Paula.
Pleasure.
Paula? No pleasure?
What?
The queen of pleasure?
Give me a pleasure, Bridget.
Bridget? Mm-hmm. Having guys say I'm pretty.
Okay.
Is that a pleasure?
It's more like a compliment, but I guess it can be seen as a pleasure. Sure.
Okay, kissing?
Ice cream?
Oh, I said kissing.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
And you said ice cream?
I like mine. Ice cream is a great pleasure.
Okay, ice cream. Paula said ice cream. Bridget said kissing. Okay, anyway, we went around. I'm so Bridget now, I can't even follow where I was at when I started
this. This is all backwards. I think I'm you and you're me. So just for you guys not to get confused.
Okay, so where were we?
Pleasure.
We were at pleasure. Paula, what is pleasure? And I'm not talking about a specific act. What is it really in this life?
Pleasure? What do you think? It's just a broad, you can't really describe it.
Does it last?
For a certain amount of time, I would say so.
Like happiness?
Yeah, comes and goes.
She is wise today. Isn't she wise? So pleasure comes and goes.
Right.
What about pain?
Same. Pain comes and goes. I feel like all emotions come and go.
So some pleasure is mistake.
It could be, like a guilty pleasure.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah.
Give me one.
Guilty pleasure would be like if you're on a diet or working out and then you eat something like with carbs, like a guilty pleasure.
I want y'all to notice this because she's Paula and I'm Bridget. We've just established that.
Don't get confused.
And so you're talking about dieting. I would think that you would have a guilty pleasure if you were having an extramarital affair. Bridget's saying this.
That's a way of looking at it, I suppose. I guess mine's a little more tame, but you could do either one. Yeah.
But darling, what I'm driving the point home, how am I driving?
With a pointy razor.
Right, so that we can become grounded.
Right, grounded.
Okay. So why do we have that guilt to begin with? If I am enjoying I'm on a diet, and I have defined that I need to eat this and eat less of this in order to lose weight. That's my goal. And so I go out and I eat 3 chocolate fudge sundaes and a Big Mac. And then you're saying I feel, the pleasure was there, but I feel guilt.
Right.
In the same way that I'm seeing a married man who has a wife and family, okay, at home. Okay, I enjoyed the sundaes and the Big Mac, and with the married man, I enjoyed the sex and the time together, the laugh, the stolen moments, so to speak.
Right.
So what is constituting the guilt? That's what I'm trying to get at.
With which scenario? The married man?
Or the chocolate fudge sundaes.
What is making it guilty?
Yeah, what is causing you to feel guilty? And what I'm trying to do, honey, is to get at authenticity.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it's just because you're doing something that you know that you're not supposed to be doing. So it.
And who
makes you feel
defines what you're
guilty.
supposed to do?
Well, yourself. You know, you set boundaries and guidelines for what you want to do, and then when you don't do them, you know, you feel guilty.
Okay, and that goes along with that Capricorn trying to gauge where you are and what you're doing, and you're not allowing the time for the mistakes. If you're going to call that a mistake,
Right.
having an affair or eating chocolate fudge sundaes so you got to define those two things as mistakes if you want to. Are you?
I guess you could. You know.
And you're learning from them. So they're beneficial.
Yeah.
So why you have guilt?
Because you're still, you know, you didn't expect yourself to be doing that. You know. You didn't want to put
There
yourself
was the
in
word.
that
How much
scenario.
can I erase? Bridget, oh Paula, you're doing so well.
Such a thinker.
I love this. Now I'm going to really drive this home, Bridget.
Okay.
Expect. You did not expect yourself would do that. You had expectations. And along with those expectations, you wanted results.
Right.
And you were going to be disappointed because you had these, because you had an idea of who you think you are.
And what you think is going to happen.
And if you get rid of that, as we started the show with, you know, I drove the point home that Pisces really have that down to a science, that they can let everything go each moment, just let it go. You have a difficult time because you've got Capricorn rising.
Right.
Because you're being Paula too,
Yeah.
right now. But I don't have any, see. I'm Bridget. The expectations, honey. Okay. I am a moral person. I am a good person. And therefore, I would never have an extramarital affair. Okay? And I go out and find the most handsome number 10 guy I could and wrap my arms around him and carry him off and have the affair. Okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. I enjoyed the time. For that time.
Right.
He probably enjoyed the time for the time. The only thing that has happened here is our illusions about ourselves got disturbed.
Right.
Give it back to me.
Well, you know, like, you didn't expect yourself to do that. You know, you didn't think, oh, well, I'm the type to have, you know, an affair. It's just like letting yourself down in a way.
But did you let yourself down, or did you expand?
No, because you know, you learned from your mistakes, so you did expand. But at the time, it could have felt like, you know, you let yourself down.
Okay, now I'm going to really get into a point. Gosh, being Bridget has just got me spinning. Let's say, for example, that I continued this affair. I'm Bridget.
Okay.
Okay. I continued this affair with this guy, and I ended up, and it so happened that I married him. Does that make it good? Does it make it bad? Does it make the guilt go away? Does it reestablish your idea that you are a good person?
That's a tough one. I'm not in that situation, so I do not
No,
know
you're Paula.
firsthand.
Bridget.
Right.
You're not. I know you're not having an
So
affair. either,
firsthand, I'm not sure.
She's having 3 affairs. I'm kidding. I'm Bridget. I can say and do anything.
Okay, so what was your question? You totally just lost me with your last.
Okay, you know, really, you felt real bad about having an
Okay.
affair with a married man. We're going to get on the ice cream stuff in just a moment. But it ended up, instead of, you know, he going on about his business with his wife and you going on.
He divorced his wife and goes with you.
Yeah. Does it make it right? Does it justify what you did? And does it eliminate the guilt? And are you reestablished, reaffirmed, I used reestablished a while ago, That you're a good and decent person.
If you're happy, I would say so.
Happy what?
In the relationship and with who you're with now. I guess that's all that matters if you're really happy.
Oh, now you are really on it today. So happy
And me.
is going, as you said just a few months ago as well, honey. Happiness is going to come and go.
Right.
Right?
As do all emotions.
Okay, so you don't really have any control over it.
Right.
And so what you think about what you're doing is immaterial. Because what you're trying to get to is the source of who you are. And strip down all of those ideas. Didn't you have the 8 of Wands?
Yeah.
Okay, where's it at? Did we put it back up?
Probably.
Okay, we put it back up. But you have the 8 of Wands, which you have so many ideas about yourself. And if those ideas are self-restricting and self-denigrating, you know, if those ideas are trying to keep you in a box so that you can't expand, then you are defeating your purpose for being alive, because you're not a tree.
Right.
Well, a tree is good. I love trees. You know, and they take and they take and they take and they give and they give and they take and they give.
I'm kind of over trees.
But so the point is that, where's my little paper? We got to go back to my paper too.
You probably put it back.
I probably did. But we are here to relish atoms in a Sagittarius operational Zoom. We are here to relish atoms. Now, I love it when it happens like this. I love it. We are to relish Adam too. And he may be married. Okay?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay? And in a Sagittarius way. Now, what do you know about Sagittarians except for the fact that you have two, a mother and a father? Don't you think that was Capricornian karma?
I suppose.
Okay.
I know Sagittariuses are the ideal, like the fun ones of the zodiac, you know, the most spontaneous.
But they're not really, huh? They won't let themselves be at times because of all of those ideas. Remember, and your first love was a Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Okay, and you learned from him.
Yeah, I did.
And you wanted him to be spontaneous and fun and all the things you're talking about.
Didn't happen. No.
You know, nothing personal, huh?
Right.
He's got to learn, to grow, and to allow himself to experience. It's okay. So we are here. Karma says we are here. Saturn says we're not going anywhere until it's time. And that also means with people who are trying to kill themselves, they cannot leave until it's time. Any more than you can be born until it's time.
Right.
And Saturn determines that. And I'm driving that home. You could replace Saturn with the word God, if you will, for those of you who are in some way thinking I'm not religious or spiritual. That would be because you haven't watched the show and determined whether I'm spiritual or religious or not. I could be or could not be. It does not matter, and I don't care what you think whether I am or not, because I am using the pointy razor to get rid of all of those ideas that I might have that somebody would think I am religious. I need to get rid of those. That's the first thing I need to get rid of.
Right.
Okay? That's a Sagittarian experience. None of us have died to go over to the other side to see what really exists. There's no one that can speak with authority of what is and what is not.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the only thing that you have is half of the half of the half of information that you're operating on. You're operating on the dark, in the dark, and on the dark. That's part of that other stuff coming through. But so anytime you can do something to shed light, you know, Jesus said, I am the light, I am the way. And if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto myself. Okay? So, but how can we possibly do that if we're constantly trying to reinforce the idea of who we think we are?
Yeah, just lighten up. Don't care so much.
There you go.
It's really not as important as you think.
There you go, darling. Now you have said so many, we should have taken a journal and wrote down these things today. That is so good because that is it.
Right.
Relish atoms in a Sagittarius operational Zoom. experience, have fun, have pain. Have all the pain you can have. Be hurt, be abandoned, be disappointed, be betrayed. Give me some more. Be lied to, be cheated on. If you want, it is of my feelings that it's impossible to be cheated, because if we're going to say everything happens for a reason, we can't come back and say we were cheated or cheated on.
Right.
It doesn't go together. Yes?
I agree.
All right. So, where are we at, Bridget? We are still dealing with a lot of ideas. We are still dealing with the fact that karma has us on this earth, and we're stumbling around in the dark, and we're trying to use a pointed razor to shave and remove and slice all of the sharp. You ever got a hair embedded? Have you met seeing you? It's very painful. I like that.
Yeah.
So we're trying to remove those things. It was Paul, he said, I don't do the things I'm supposed to do, and I do the things I'm not supposed to do. Now this is Paul that said that. And he said, I have a thorn in the flesh. So as long as we are alive, we are going to contend with things about ourselves we don't like. But we can't say they don't exist. We can't do that. We can't comb our hairs and doll up our faces and say, I am a marvelous person. Because we know inside we're not a terrible person and we're not a marvelous person. We don't know what we are. Talk to me, Pisces. Do we really know what we are?
No, I think we have an idea about, knowing who we are, but I don't know if we know exactly who we are, what we're supposed to do, or what you want. Right.
And how can you know?
Well, like I said, you just have ideas about what you like and, that sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
So.
And if you might be thinking, well, Paula, you said fashion. That's why that's on the board. Fashion. How much, now I'm going to make you transport yourself a little further down the road. How influential is fashion in this world?
In this world, or?
In this world.
To me.
No. That is your world. I understand that. Okay. The media and fashion.
Well, yeah, it's a big deal.